Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elliot Moore. I am the music director of the Detroit Medical Orchestra. And I was asked to say a few words. About this Beethoven Ninth Symphony, so that everyone would have sort of an idea about, or more really as an aid to your listening. So, this Wednesday, May 7th, will mark the 190 years since the premiere of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which took place in Vienna. It's amazing how much this symphony has influenced our lives, things that we don't even know or think about. Let me give you an example. For instance, the compact disc that you all put into your CD players, those all have 74 minutes of potential music making on them. The reason it has 74 minutes is because when compact discs were made, the average running time of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which had never been on one LP or never been on one cassette tape, was 74 minutes. So they wanted to make sure they could actually fit Beethoven's Ninth Symphony onto one compact disc. So when you go home and you look at all the CDs you have, every single one of those was made with Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in mind. It's kind of incredible to think about that, 190 years in. The symphony also has a very special place in the form of the symphony, which is to say that it's the first symphony that ever uses singers. As you see, we have a choir back there, and there will be 2 male soloists here and 2 female soloists here. People talk a lot about the meaning of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and there are so many different kind of hypotheses about what it could mean. I'm going to give you 4. 1, it represents the cycle of life, from conception through adolescence, old age, death, and afterlife. Here's another one. The first movement represents animals viciously killing each other. Okay? I mean, it's crazy already. I didn't look up what happens in this person's story from the 2nd to the 4th movement. So, in the 1930s and 40s, Germany used this piece to show German supremacy, right? They were the best nation in the world. Nowadays, in Europe, it's not used to show how great Germany is, but to show how united Europe is. So it's the national anthem of the European Union. It's amazing how things change. What do I think it means? I think that this symphony is about perfection. Now, I'm not elaborating too much on perfection, though. Maybe I will, actually. I think that some of the perfection is about the cosmos. Sorry, can we turn the mic maybe down slightly? I'm getting feedback. So, I think it's about perfection. Now, what's perfect about this piece? How does it show that? Well, I have this little tool here that I got at the Dollar Tree to help explain. So, there's something called perfect intervals, okay? Some of you, I'm sure, have heard of them, but maybe others of you haven't, but maybe you've played with this. So, perfect intervals are sort of like, listen, I want to make sure I don't tell anyone. They're sort of like prehistoric music, basically, okay? This is the music that happened before human beings were on this earth. This is the music that happens in the winds, in the trees, through caves, through little reeds that grow in the grass, and when there's, hold on. When there's a little breeze, it makes this sound. The breeze speeds up. It goes up in pitch, and up higher. Or down, if the breeze comes down. Sorry. My dog can do this. I tasted when I got it. So, Beethoven begins each one of his first 3 movements with perfect intervals. So you have the perfect perfect 5th, perfect 4th, that's a 4th, that's a 5th. We're going to play the opening of the symphony so you can hear these perfect intervals. Perfect interval. Good. Now we are going to play the beginning of the second movement. I told you there's a perfect 4th, there's a perfect 5th. But if you leave the middle one out, you have bum, bum. That's a perfect octave. Okay, that's the only other perfect interval that there is. So let's begin with the second movement. And listen to these perfect octaves. So that's the second movement. Yum, all perfect octaves. It's sort of showing what perfection could be. Let's go to the third movement. These are two perfect fourths in the first violins. It goes, sorry, there we go. E, perfect fourth, perfect fourth. So now we've been through all the perfect intervals that exist. And then something happens in the fourth movement. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Something happens in the, let's see, before I go to the fourth movement. It's difficult to sort of know really what the meaning is when there aren't words. So I want to talk about what the first words are. The first words are, "O friends, not these sounds. Rather, let us sing more pleasant and joyful words." Now, well, Schiller was the poet who wrote the Ode to Joy, so it's called in English. Beethoven was actually the person who wrote these words that I just read to you. So, "O friends, not these sounds." So what does he mean by "O friends"? "O friends," my friend, are you? You're Beethoven's friends, right? He's talking to you. Not these sounds. Okay, which sounds? Well, he goes on to say, let us sing more pleasing and joyful tones. Okay? So whatever the sounds are, they're not that pleasing and they're not that joyful. So we're going to discover a little bit about what these not so pleasant sounds are. But I want to switch gears once again. Beethoven was presented with kind of a compositional dilemma because he doesn't use the choir for about 45 minutes, so he's not using these singers. It's just a normal symphony that has been written for hundreds of years at this point. And he suddenly needs to add voices. And so what does he do to make it sort of organic? What he does is he uses the cellos and the basses to act or really mimic voices. So let's hear what they sound like trying to mimic voices. Beginning the first one. That's the cellos and the basses mimicking their voice. I actually decided to come up with some words to what it may mean. And because it's very confusing when the orchestra's playing and you're hearing these cellos and it means there's a reason I had them play the first three movements. It's because these three movements come back earlier. So I'm going to sing my own version of what the cellos mean. Okay? From the beginning of the fourth movement. And I may need, can you all hear me pretty well? Yes? Okay. Let's hope it works. Ready? Oh, friends, please help me search for the tune for my Ninth Symphony. Oh my, that wasn't it. Maybe this next one pleases more. I think I've got woes. Cannot believe my woes. I can't believe my woes. But wait, maybe it's in the second movement. Oh boy, for sure that wasn't it. No, I've tried the first two. Perhaps the third movement is what I see. That third one worked well. Oh yes, no, I can't believe you'll never ever find the inspiration. That's it, got the tune now, so happy and joyful it sounds. That's the tune I'll use. Now we all know how this bit goes, so we're going to hum along. Please don't hum along in the concert. A little less cellos, less basses, so we get more audience. Great. Okay. I just want to say a few more things about sort of meaning, very briefly. If you come away with nothing from this concert except these few words, brotherhood, joy, God, loving Father, and be embraced, you will have a very good understanding of what this music is about. That's what this music is about. Also, changing gears a little bit, I want to talk about the Detroit Medical Orchestra. When I first became their music director 3 years ago, when I met the orchestra, they had 30 musicians in it. We're about 85 today, so it's incredible how much. Very briefly, there's so much that I could talk about in terms of division, male ensemble here at the DSA. They are incredible. There is no doubt about it. They are incredible. They are singing in German. Their spirit is incredible. I've never seen such spirited people in my life. They actually talk about brotherhood. I've been amazed twice. In one rehearsal, when I was rehearsing with them, they said brothers. Big brothers look after the little brothers. We have a new brother coming in. Their sense of brotherhood is truly amazing and very inspiring, and I've been so honored to work with them. So, there's a tradition at the United Voices of Detroit that was so moving to me that I wanted to share it with you, and I also asked them to begin the concert with this. Their tradition is that at the end of a rehearsal, they stand in a circle and they all hold hands. They share personal information. They talk about their sick family members or a hate crime that happened in their community, and they basically ask for prayers. They have not only prayed for family members, but actually something that was very touching for me was they were praying for the doctors, as of course the conductor and the music director of the medical orchestra. It's so touching to know that these folks are helping these folks and those folks. It's just this like circle of incredibleness. What they do after that is, in their circle, they start singing their theme song. And it talks about the possibilities, what is possible when they all stand together and they all sing with one voice. And I found that to be so fitting, because with the choir and the orchestra and us all creating one joyful noise, I think is just extremely fitting for this concert. So I asked them to start the program with that, and I would just ask that you don't applaud, because the Beethoven Ninth Symphony first move will begin right away. There's no pause. So I hope you all enjoy the concert. I think it's going to be a really exceptional concert, and I hope to see you at the reception. Thank you.